The ivy-clad walls of Langston Manor towered ominously, casting a long shadow on the cobblestone path that led to its grand entrance. On a chilly January evening, the air felt heavy with foreboding as Detective Haider Graves stood at the threshold, his eyes scanning the darkened house through the veil of mist. Inside, the revered historian, Dr. Samuel Ashford, lay lifeless in his study, the intricate Persian rug beneath him stained a deep crimson. Police lights flickered, illuminating the room draped in layers of antiquity. Haider stepped further inside, instinctively invoking the calm that accompanied his every investigation. His eyes fell on the victim, sprawled in an awkward position, the remnants of surprise etched across his face. In his hand, Ashford clutched a crumpled note, its cryptic symbols hinting at secrets long buried. "Is he really dead?" a voice asked from behind. Adam, Haider's young tech expert, entered cautiously, his eyes wide with the thrill of the unknown mingled with the chill of death. "Very much so," Haider replied, kneeling to examine the note. "Security footage from the cameras is corrupted, which leaves us with more questions than answers." He sighed, pondering the implications. "The murder weapon is missing. We need to uncover what he was working on and who would want him dead." Adam took a deep breath, stepping closer. "Do you want me to start decoding that note? Maybe it's a clue." "Do it," Haider urged, reaching for a pair of gloves to handle the paper. Hours seemed to blend into one another as they sifted through Ashford's papers, Adam efficiently utilizing his laptop to decode the note. Haider organized the room meticulously, his detective's mind absorbing every detail, while Adam's fingers flew over the keyboard, unraveling the cryptic symbols. "I've got something," Adam exclaimed, his voice laced with excitement, breaking the solemnity that hung in the air. "This is an ancient cipher used by a secret society, one that's connected to a legend of a long-lost treasure." Haider's focus sharpened. "Continue." "The treasure is said to be hidden near the old ruins of Eldridge Cove. It's rumored that anyone who seeks it must face a series of tests set forth by the society." Haider stood up, his brow furrowing. "And have you found any connections between Ashford and this society?" "Indirectly," Adam hesitated. "There are references in his notes to clandestine meetings with certain collectors and historians. They believed the treasure held the key to unlocking true power. Or motivating a murder," Haider interjected. "We need a list of his acquaintances." The first stop on their list was Pierre Grenville, a wealthy collector known for his aggressive approach to acquiring rare antiquities. He greeted them in his lavish estate, a gallery filled with art and artifacts that spoke of both opulence and desperation. "I have no idea why you're here," Grenville sneered, wiping his hands on his designer jacket. Ashford was nothing. A second-rate historian chasing fantasies. "Fantasies that get people killed," Haider countered, his cool demeanor unwavering. "What was your relationship with him?" "Nothing significant," Grenville huffed, eyes darting. "He contacted me once about a deal, but I never sold him anything. Your time would be better spent elsewhere." Their next visit was to Dr. Elaine Fitz, Ashford's former colleague and a rival in the academic circles. She was a petite woman with a fierce intellect, and Haider approached with a cautious charm. "He was obsessed with that damned treasure," she snapped. "Talk of power and unlocking something extraordinary. It consumed him. But who would want to kill him? You need to look deeper." Haider leaned back, assessing her. "You knew about the society?" Her face tightened. "I know of it, but they are nothing more than myth." Ashford went down that rabbit hole until he lost himself. Finally, they spoke to Victor Elms, an antique dealer with a reputation shrouded in shadows. The dimly lit store smelled of aged wood and forgotten history, the atmosphere dwindling with unease as they interrogated him. Ashford was a fool. He meddled in things he didn't understand, Victor rasped, his fingers nervously twisting a pendant around his neck. "How do you know that?" Adam pressed. "I sold him a few trinkets, but the last one, a compass, was cursed, they say," he claimed, shivering at his own words. "The last I heard, he was set to meet someone. That night, he was no doubt restless." As they pieced together the stories, the audacity of the situation hinged on a common thread. The legend of the treasure was not only pulling everyone in but also ensnaring Ashford in a trap he might have woven himself. "Remember," Haider said as they drove back to their office, fading headlights streaking past them. "Everyone has a motive. But they also fear this society. What if Ashford left those notes not to implicate someone but as a dying attempt to expose the real killer? A way to reveal the truth. Adam pondered aloud. Interesting, but convoluted, Haider pointed out, contemplating the potential trap. That would mean he was aware of the danger he was in. The next day, amidst the chaos of investigation, their leads brought them to the forgotten ruins of Eldridge Cove, a place tied intricately to the treasure legend. It was a damp, eerie place, vultures circling in the overcast sky. Haider and Adam began a search. While scouring the area, they stumbled upon a hidden trapdoor, concealed by years of ivy and decay. Heart racing, Haider pushed it open, revealing a narrow staircase that spiraled into darkness. "Are you sure about this?" Adam whispered, peering nervously down into the shadowed abyss. "Trust me," Haider replied, setting a flashlight's beam ahead. "If Ashford was onto something, it's likely leading us here." As they descended, the air turned damp and stale, and they stepped into a vast underground chamber illuminated by flickering torches. The walls were lined with inscriptions, echoing legends long forgotten. Suddenly, a loud clang echoed around them, a door slamming shut. Haider's instincts kicked in. "Stay close," he barked. But before they could react, they triggered a series of booby traps. Darting arrows and swinging blades whizzed through the air, forcing them to maneuver through the deadly obstacles. Why would Ashford set this up? Adam shouted, dodging a trap just in time. "Maybe he wasn't prepared for someone after him," Haider grunted, slicing through ropes that held ominous contraptions. They reached the center of the chamber where an altar lay. On it, multiple artifacts lay scattered, but as Haider formally observed, it became clear that they aligned almost harmoniously with the coded messages. "Look," Adam said, pointing to a marked spot on the altar where a unique imprint resembled the note's cipher. In a moment of realization, the pieces fell into place. "This was meant to uncover the treasure's guardian," Haider stated, a chill running down his spine. "But someone—" Before he could finish, a figure emerged from the shadows. "Detective Graves. How quaint to find you here after all these years." In disbelief, Haider stepped back, recognizing the familiar face of Elijah Carter, a fellow investigator once admired, now a man with a twisted agenda. "What is this, Elijah? You're the murderer," Haider demanded coolly, even as his heart raced. "Not just a murderer, Haider," Elijah replied, venom dripping from his words. "I'm here for revenge. You left me in the dust, a casualty of your endless pursuit of justice, while I sought the truth about our shared past. Ashford was the last link to that treasure. He had denied its existence to protect me, but he doomed himself instead. He could have exposed you, you fool," Haider said, pressing forward. "What makes you think I'd allow you to keep that treasure?" Elijah laughed maniacally, pulling back the layers of shame. "That treasure is more than gold, it's power. I wanted to eliminate anyone who stood between me and the truth we were promised." Just as their confrontation escalated, Adam stepped forward, emboldened by the bravery that surged through him. With a calculated move, he activated the security measures on his tablet, triggering alarms loud enough that they echoed through the caverns. "Let's finish this," Haider yelled, as he and Adam engaged Elijah in the tense standoff marked by betrayal and loss. The ensuing struggle revealed the depths of Elijah's depravity, and Haider, using his methodical mind, turned the tables. A well-timed caught blow left Elijah vulnerable. In the aftermath, with Elijah subdued, the police arrived, having tracked their location based on Adam's alert. Haider breathed heavily, the adrenaline wearing off. "You played this masterfully. But it all felt personal, didn't it?" Adam asked, panting as he steadied himself. Haider nodded, looking down at Elijah. "He wanted to take me down, claiming the guardianship of a treasure meant for his revenge rather than riches." They brought Elijah out of the chamber, the weight of the past and the burdens of belief swirling in their minds. Haider glanced at his surroundings, feeling the echoes of their history. In the week that followed, news of the investigation traveled through the city, painting a complicated picture of a historian caught in a deadly game of legacy and betrayal. Haider and Adam sat in their office, the glow of their screens illuminating the chaos of data. "You did well under pressure," Haider acknowledged, eyeing Adam with a rare compliment. "Thanks, But I've been an imposter in my field. What if I hadn't acted in time? Adam countered, revealing his lingering insecurities. Impulsive choices can lead to great discoveries, Haider replied thoughtfully. As long as you keep searching for the truth, you'll find your place. What's the takeaway from all this? Adam asked, drawing back from the mystery. Not every hidden treasure is a reward. Sometimes, they're just the remnants of a painful past, Haider mused, before pausing. What do you think people would seek out this time? The question lingered in the air, inviting reflection. The duo exchanged contemplative glances, the possibility of future cases sparking between them like electricity. Until the next mystery, Haider concluded, a slight grin appearing. As they dove back into their work, a sense of anticipation hung in the air, leaving viewers at the edge of their seat, eager to know what lies ahead in the next installment of CFH, Case Files with Haider. What hidden truths do our pasts hold? What lengths would you go to uncover a buried secret? Stay tuned for our next case.